Hi, how are you? Nice. We did that one pretty well. So today I wanted to talk about zodiac placements again.
Yay!
Yeah, Part 2. We did that in the very first episode, and then since then, Kyra's done a little bit of research because I wanted to talk about our North Node. So I don't really know a whole lot about astrology on my own, but I'd heard that the North Node kind of tells you a little bit about what you're supposed to do in life. Not necessarily your career, but what you were put here to do. And I thought that was pretty interesting. I got really into mine. I have a Virgo North Node. Right? I have a Virgo stellium. I'll say that anytime unprompted, you don't even have to ask me. But I have a Virgo stellium, and that is one of my Virgo placements. And then Kyra.
Mine is actually Libra. Surprisingly, although my zodiac main sign is Virgo, I have a lot of different stuff in there. Now, I have a couple other Virgos, but I have a big mix of everything. But right now, focusing on Libra. So when I first I was given my assignment because I was being a little lazy. Gonna call myself out on that one, but I had to actually search up what North Node actually is, so I do have the definition written down.
Nice.
So I guess the main question that came up was, why is the North Node so important? And what I have here is that the North Node is very important because it's a beacon, basically. Each person has to know that his or her or their life have purpose, and this is an essential ingredient in happiness. So that's where the North Node takes place in, to help you find out what your purpose is to create your happiness. Otherwise, you kind of have like a sense of unrest, basically. And the North Node is one of the major aspects from which one can find one's purpose. I guess I already said that. And it's also known as the true node. So I guess the key point is that it signifies who you need to be and the energies that your soul wants you to bring into your life to make it more fulfilling.
All right.
That's the definition.
Yeah, no, that's pretty thorough. I fuck with that.
Got that from 2 different sites.
Yeah. Did you happen to write them down?
I did.
Okay, cool. We'll put them in the link in the description then. Excellent. All right. Yeah, I didn't look up what North Node meant, but I did look up Virgo North Node. Mm-hmm. But I'm actually going to let you go first for this one, because I wanted to talk about another placement that I snuck on you because I didn't know if you'd be ready or not. Yeah, so I'll go first for that one. You go first this time.
Oh, that means I'm going to do research on the fly.
Right? Yeah.
She did this to me. Okay. So when I searched up on my North Node, so basically what I also found out about North Node, it actually goes by a certain time of year that you were born. So not necessarily born on, it doesn't go by year calendar. I'm not sorry, I said that backwards. It doesn't go by calendar month like the typical birth zodiac main sign is.
Oh, like the moon.
But it goes by. Let me see if I can find it because I had it up.
Moments later.
So let's say that I was born in 1995. Not everyone born in 1995 is going to have Libra, but those born later on in the year. So I think it goes from like August 25th until 95 till 96, something like that.
Okay.
It's some big range like that. I can't find it to bring it up, but its goal is in a range like that, as opposed to, because there's only 2 that can happen within a certain year.
A few moments later.
Alright, so I actually did find it and made sure I bookmarked it this time. So it has date intervals, and they don't all have the same range, because some can last for 2 years or 2+ years, and then some for shorter than that. So for example, for the Libra, the date range is August 12th, 95 to February 27, 97. That covers all of 96, but not all of them range like that. So for the next one, for Virgo, that is February 28th, 97 to September 17th, 98. That's not 2 years like the other one. So it just depends on the range. Now this chart that I'm looking at, we'll also include that link below as well, so you can look at yours. So I looked at mine, and it showed me the degrees. So one of my North Node degree was 27 degrees, which is interesting because 27 is a very important number in my life. And then it also showed me 35 feet and 53 inches, and I don't know exactly what that means. Mm-hmm. But what I found interesting about that specifically is that the numbers are introverted, and I have a twin who's a boy, and we were kind of born. He was born at 507. I was born at 514, and then even our social security numbers are introverted. So that was kind of cool. I just thought that was a fun fact.
Yeah, man, that's fun.
And then going further into research, I went to EliteDaily.com, and that's where I found out a little bit more about what my North Node means. And according to Elite Daily, it means that I was meant to spread peace in this life. What I want to mention before I finish what this says that my meaning or purpose is that Kaylyn told me that I was not gonna like this.
I saw something completely different.
Really?
Completely different. You're teaching me shit. I didn't say anything because you've been teaching me shit. I've never seen any of this.
Well, that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
No, but you have to tell me what you thought or what you found out.
I will show you exactly what I looked up. We'll do that after the episode now.
Okay. Yeah. Well, from what I found, and if we need to revisit it later, we definitely will. But it says that my purpose is to spread peace in this life. My fullest potential lies in cooperating with others and bringing everyone together as one. I don't particularly care for that because that's a big burden, and I technically already do that, unfortunately, or have made it my mission. But it kind of made me a little bit miserable because, like in our 2 episodes ago, we were talking about self-care, and me focusing so much on doing this with, and not realizing that that's what I was doing, kind of helped me put myself behind. So I guess finding out the balance between that. But anyway, apparently that brings me happiness. So I have to be gentle, diplomatic, and understanding, work with others in loyal partnerships, which I can agree with. I definitely do seek that out and seek out having good friends, i.e. Kaylyn and my friend Jennifer. Shout out to you. Please listen. No. And they do bring me great joy having that because I know that they're loyal, so I can trust them with literally my life. And then when conflict separates people into us versus them, it says that I am, or people with the same North Node in Libra, are to bridge the gap. So live life in harmony, forging bonds that connect us all. That's kind of contradictory because it kind of feeds into being a Virgo specifically, because it, from what I remember as far as having Virgo as the zodiac sign, you're kind of like you're an organizer, but also like a peacemaker type of kind of. So it kind of just layers everything, and that's cool. But then that doesn't make sense for when I get mad and I really don't like you. And then, sometimes I can be that person that causes that us versus them type of thing, and I don't feel any need to make a bridge in between that. So that is interesting. But I can say that I try to do that a lot. So when my mom and my sister were at odds, for the most part, they kind of both lean on me as the bridge between them both. Mm-hmm. It just happened, just automatically. Even my mom does it with my twin, and they get along more than get along together more than I do with him. And she will still lean on me to be like, hey, have you reached out to him? Can you try to call him because he hasn't answered this and blah, blah, blah. So I can definitely say that is heavily leaned on me as far as that. And then on another site that I went on, I went into a lot of detail for this, apparently. The site was romanticIdeasforlife.com. And it says a Libra North Node individual as... I wrote that wrong. Oh no, that's is, not as. I can't read my own handwriting. is the master negotiator. Those with soul potential in Libra are interested in cooperation, fairness, and they will strive for balance. So,
I guess a bunch of skills. Right?
Yeah, justice type of thing. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, cool. Mm-hmm. And so another thing that I was reading on that same site, and I made sure I kept it up because I was too lazy to write down everything, honestly.
That's a lot to write.
It is, and I don't want to print it off. I'd rather have it handwritten or just read on the screen. I'm lazy. So, they were going into detail about the difference between, first it was laying out what archetypes define a North Node Libra, and then also justifying that if you don't feel these things or see these things in your life and stuff like that, that is not something to like be too worried about. And that's where it came in, the fact where it said that could be something that your soul is asking you for, or something that it wants you to bring in your life. So while you may not identify with being a spiritual judge or a diplomat or a relationship counselor, those are some of the archetypes, is something that your soul is asking you to bring into your life to give you balance, to help you be happy and feel fulfilled in what you do in a daily life. So you don't necessarily have to become a relationship counselor, but being maybe that relationship counselor within your friend group, that may help you feel some sense of peace where you can go back to whatever it is that you do on a day-to-day basis. So that I thought that was really interesting. And then another thing that they pointed out is that even knowing what your North Node is and what that specific North Node defines, the best option to do, you don't have to abandon everything that you did before. Take the good things from what you knew before and blend it in with the new possibilities from knowing what your North Node is. So taking old patterns like they have really bad examples on here. So it says like being uncooperative and then meshing that with being refined and stuff like that, because the point is not to be, is to evolve into a better self, not to just completely change who you are by these standards. So you have to know what your good qualities are and then meld them with the other possibilities. It's a lot. And they also said something something that I absolutely didn't agree with about Libra Node specifically, saying that we will have to be, what did it say? It said something about being...
More moments later.
Well, while she's looking for that, I decided that instead of doing the other zodiac placement, I want to take this 16 personalities test, because I think I see people that have the same one as me all the time. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's basic as fuck, but I think Kyra would have a different one, and we're going to tell both of ours once we have a moment to get through the rest of the North Node talk, just because I came up with that right now and I think that'd be fun.
I'm okay with that.
You know, you can I don't know if it's Control F or not, but you can search.
I don't know what the specific word is. That's the problem.
Okay.
It said something basically about being dependent, or that's how I interpreted it. I didn't like it at all. Well, I guess, again, the last thing I'm going to say about it says that the main point, the main point is to fuse the positive traits, what you brought from the past, and the stuff that you're bringing into the future, and to develop a personality that's truly integrated, because essentially that's what your zodiac sign is. It's an integrated part, or it's a zodiac chart. It's showing you all different parts of your personality, or explaining certain parts of your personality and what you may be missing and stuff like that. So
I think that does bring up something I said in the self-care thing too, which I didn't even think about. That's how I prefer to address any issues I need to work on, you know what I mean? I would prefer to okay, how else can I rephrase this so that I am acting on it in a better light, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, everything's starting to tie in together. I like that.
Sorry about for me doing so much research, I kind of botched that, but it's cool.
No, you didn't, especially because we're going to cut all that out. We sat here for 2 minutes, but it's okay.
Damn.
No, it's okay, because I wanted to eat my chips, and I wanted to get a head start on this test so I can explain more to Kyra about what it is. And then I should have just jumped in and started talking about my North Node, but
you see how she played me on that one?
I did a little bit. I didn't listen. You didn't get played as hard as I thought you would.
That's fucked up.
That's a joke. That was 100% a joke. It was a bad joke, but it made me laugh, so it's okay.
Why? Because you're God?
No, not this time. Oh, just because I'm an asshole.
Oh Lord! And then I said something about loyal relationships. Okay.
Well, listen, I'm not gonna tell the joke to somebody else. I'm gonna tell it to your face.
I can respect that.
Yeah, true loyalty. So yeah, I'm gonna read a little bit about what I have about my North Node, which is in Virgo, which means my South Node is in Pisces. I don't know if you said your South Node.
No, I didn't, but I can. My South Node is Aries.
Aries, okay. Ooh. My rising sign is Aries. No, that's just really funny. Okay.
That would be a different episode talking about South Node.
But what does the Virgo North Node reveal about your karmic journey according to astrology, like on a general level? It says this position suggests that in this lifetime you need to focus on reality and turn chaos into order. In the past, you were strongly connected to the domain of fantasy and imagination. These people are creative, artistic, sensitive, spiritual. I think she just found it. These people are creative, artistic, sensitive, spiritual, but there is a tendency to get lost in your dreams and fail to turn them into reality. I actually think that's interesting because when I was first looking this up, I did not find this. I find something different really every time I look at it, but I think that's super poignant because I have spent a lot of time, 2020 was rough, but I spent a lot of time kind of mentally adrift. And I have to get back on track to be able to accomplish any of the things that I want to accomplish. So yeah, I gotta spend more time in reality. But what else I found about it is that, and again, I don't know where I found this because this was a while ago now. I see different shit every time I look it up, but it was saying that people with the Virgo North Node are more prone to find happiness through serving others. So my mom has a Virgo North Node actually, and she was a teacher for her primary career. She'll act like she hates the school. She hates the school system and shit like that and how things changed over time, but she truly enjoyed teaching, and you could tell. I never went back to any of my teachers and was like, wow, you really made an impact on me, thank you so much, blah blah blah. Never did that shit. Even if I liked them a lot, I would go back to say hi, but I would never say any shit like that. She had people every single year. She taught for 27 years. She had people every year coming back and saying shit like that to her because she actually cared about what she was doing. That was her way to service the community. I have a Virgo North Node and I have no fucking clue. Right now I'm a massage therapist and that's technically me physically giving back to the community, but it's not fulfilling on a spiritual level. So I gotta find out what else that is. And that's why we're gonna talk about the rest of our chart. I'm gonna at least be putting some pieces together. I feel like Kyra's gonna get it quicker than I am because she's sharp. But
we're not gonna imply that you're not.
No, listen. I'm more it hurts more to get stabbed by a butter knife. Yeah, because Because it's okay, I don't come to shit quickly, but that's because I sit and think about it and then I come to it thoroughly. And that's not to say that I can't be quick about other stuff, but it's usually like jokes and shit. Not
see,
really
I think that, I am very slow on jokes, but I think I would have thought that it was the opposite. I tend to overthink a lot. That's going back to the Virgo thing. But, so I wouldn't say that I come to stuff fairly quick. When I did this research, it was a couple days ago, and it took me even just talking about it now to understand and put certain pieces together. So I wouldn't necessarily say. And then you have a little bit more experience in searching up zodiac signs and interpreting it. So I wouldn't say that I will come to it faster. I think I will bounce ideas off of you, and then that kind of helps it tumble into place for both of us at the same time, but not necessarily that one will come before the other.
I don't know if you noticed, but I disagree with you at least once an episode because I keep trying to bait you into arguing with
It's
me.
not gonna happen.
It did though. Listen, the thing is that she can't realize it's an argument because you can't be a quick back and forth. I have to get her to explain herself.
I do that a lot.
She does, but I keep asking her to, and she never notices, and I think that's a good thing for me.
Well, I never noticed that you asked me to explain myself.
Or how often I do it.
You never asked me. Anyway.
Alright. Anyway, yeah, okay, back on track. Yeah, so for me at least, I know that I need to find what my preferred method of service is, because I would never be a teacher. I actually value my free time. I like not being a teacher. I watched my mom go through a lot growing up, and not even just the day-to-day stuff of being a teacher, but then the hierarchies within the school and shit like that, or how she has to act to have friends and stuff. Like, they're just grown-ass adults, and they're, in a lot of cases, grown-ass adults that don't have their shit together. I don't have the patience to be around that because I will lose my temper, and then I'll get fired, and then I won't be able to work anywhere because I got fucking fired from a career. Like, when you get fired from a job, nobody really cares. Like, I mean,
I did. I cried.
No, you care. Other people don't care.
Clear. I didn't care about the job. I was just mad at the way it was done.
No, yeah, that's fair. I've gotten fired twice, and the second time really pissed me off. The first time, I was just kind of, damn. You know what I mean? My feelings were a little hurt. The second time, I was angry. But yeah, I've been fired twice, and it sucks. I'm terrified of getting fired now. Like, I kind of have subconscious PTSD or whatever, but...
Have you ever thought that doing a podcast was your way of giving back to the community?
I hadn't thought about that because I often don't think I have things of value to say. And it's not that I don't in general, it's that I'm not putting effort into the thoughts that come out while we're doing this. So it's not like I can sit down and say, how do I want to convey so and so and such and such?
But here's my thing is, a lot of times when we do stuff that typically is the most fulfilling, we don't really think about it because it just comes natural. And then you're very eloquent with words and with interpreting stuff. Don't do that. She's making a face. But you're very eloquent with words and interpreting things. And then even so, like when we have our conversations, helping me get to a certain conclusion and be like, oh, I didn't think about it that way. And stuff like that. And then that can in turn help other people who are listening who may have the same experiences.
If people listen, shameless
Please
plug,
listen.
right? Shameless plug. But yeah, no, I don't totally disagree with that. I just think when the world is so fast paced, it's easy to feel like you're being left behind.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm. I think I got that from somewhere else.
But I like the way that it sounds. It's very poetic.
Mm-hmm.
I need to write that down.
Well, we can just
rewrite it.
Listen to the podcast. But yeah, and then I think the last thing I want to read about. Nope, I'm not gonna go that far. Oh, it's just a list. It says life lessons, but really just shit to like be. This is such general advice for being present in the here and now, making plans and sticking to them, offering help in a practical way. I like that. Don't make unnecessary sacrifices. Enforce your boundaries, taking good care of your health and physical body. Ooh, that's interesting. Creating routines that help you be focused and develop self-discipline. Now, I'm going to tell you why all of this is funny for me. Those have been my, New Year's resolution. I make like a whole 10 list thing for New Year's because I got the idea from Reverend Ernestine, who is the Reverend for Unity on Campus. But she actually gave us the idea to write down a plan for the year and like 10 different things and blah, blah, blah. So over the last few years, almost all of those things, except for offering help, I don't tend to want to do that, which makes me sound selfish, I guess, but I don't tend to want to offer help for no particular reason. I have to be in, like, I have to like whatever it is or whoever it is. I have to be in the right mood. Even then, I have to, like, be in that mood when I do it, not just when I said I was going to do it. You know what I mean? Shit like that. I will flat out say no. Okay, that's off topic. I was going to say, I will flat out say no if it's something that I don't want to do. I don't need to go down that path.
But that's still fair. I do want to say something where it says archetypes include, because I did just quickly search up hers on the same website that I searched up mine. And it says, well, she knows the reason that I'm going to bring this up, but it says the business planner.
So, you know how, I can't fully spill the beans because nothing's going to happen yet, but I do want this to be on record that recently I had a conversation with some people that
in the works.
Right, some people that I've been wanting to work with them for a while and kind of manage them. And I don't have any experience doing anything like that. I told you I'm a massage therapist. Before that, I was an art student. Before that, I was a fucking high schooler. So, like, I don't really actually have any experience doing anything like that. But I want to learn about business, and they really just need a business partner. I can do that.
And the thing is, she's helped me with my business as far as starting, like, over the summer, we were looking at what my rates should be just for deposits, just for looking at people's work, considering their work. And then even after that, and she just came up with it on the fly. I was like, oh, that's a great idea. So she does that, and so my specific reason for bringing that up, and the reason I'm glad I looked it up, is that when it says that you are or you are fulfilled by being a servant of the community, it doesn't necessarily mean of everyone in general.
Oh, hell yeah!
But it can be like certain close-knit people as well. But doing certain things, you don't have to be like waiting on hand and foot and giving me a massage because of something that's going on.
Because I need money and shit.
But something that, like, the fact that she wanted to work with these individuals for a while, or the fact that she's helped me with my business, that's serving back into the community because she's helping Black artists, myself, and all that. And which contributes to the whole community because I'm reaching out to other authors and things that's even outside of the country. And then she's just a business planner. So with that being said, it doesn't necessarily have to be in the way that is described in there, but also in business aspects.
I'm gonna tell you exactly why I really like that. Because you're telling me that my business mind has a trickle-down effect.
It does.
Because I'm God.
Kaylyn.
Yeah! Worked it in. Excellent. But yeah, so, no, I'm really actually super glad that you looked it up, and I was kind of hoping you would, but I didn't want to ask, because I didn't want to, like...
Why not?
I'd be worried about that kind of shit. You should know that already.
Well, I guess that's why I did it anyway.
That's exactly why. Yep. Yeah, but,
I'm also a control freak.
That's okay sometimes. Sometimes you gotta get over it, but I'll let you know when you're,
Yeah.
I will definitely let you know if I feel like you stepped on my toes. But, today wasn't one of those days. I'm sorry. But yeah, so, anyway, working with these individuals, I actually have also been helping my mom with her business. And so this whole pandemic, which started in March of 2020, it's January 2021. She had a client that she had already worked with because I made her go up there and talk to them. She'd never think about it like that. But then also, when they canceled on her because of the pandemic, I was like, oh, we got invited to my cousin's baby shower on Zoom. So she was like, oh, I want to do something with this. I said, why don't you mail everyone goodie bags with, like, activities and shit that they can do with each other. I'm not going to give you too much of the idea because that's my mom's, give her the full scoop. But something like that. and then market it under your business, because she's an event planner now. She's actually licensed and shit, so she has all the qualifications, ribbons and shit to take care of this. Shameless plug. Celebration is, because I am basically the business manager. I was her graphic designer. I made her logo, but then
she's my graphic designer now. I stole her.
Yeah, we actually just got Photoshop because we needed to put more effort into the podcast. Whoop, whoop.
New logo or picture coming soon?
Pending.
Right.
Yeah.
I
was gonna say no. You're okay. That was worth saying. But yeah, so I have been helping her run her business. I made sure everybody got shirts. That was my idea. I made sure she got her sweater. She got something to put on her car to let people know, like, when she's driving around, she doesn't ever use it. And this whole pandemic, she hasn't done anything. But I don't completely blame her, because she's not business-minded. And that's okay. But I am, unintentionally. I don't like when people don't listen to my business advice, because if I'm going to give it to you, I'm not putting effort into it, because it does come to me easily, but, like, you're still taking up my time.
Yeah.
And I would prefer to be alone in my room. You can even call me and we can have this conversation, but I want to sit down.
And that's fair. You want to be comfortable in your own space.
Yeah.
But still, with that being said, like, even with all of the frustrations and everything does have a trickle-down effect. Not because you're God, but it has a trickle-down effect that is impacting whoever, who you come in contact with and who they come in contact with. Managing her business and helping her get contracts and things like that is impacting
the DJ.
Yeah, mm-hmm. and helping them get more people, which makes their business bigger, and just expanding horizons, and it positively affects everybody. It's not necessarily I feel brighter in this way, you changed my life, but in a way you are, but it's not completely direct, and it doesn't necessarily require praise for it, but it does change their life in a good way. I'm glad you said it like that, because I just thought about it, and I do offer help in practical ways all the time. I just don't think that's what I'm doing, and that's the point. Yeah. And I think that's the reason, because it does make you happy. Like, every time I mention when I need help as far as like my editing and stuff like that, her facial expression immediately changed. She's like, oh, sure. Oh, I think it'd be great if you did this. And I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. And she is like, even if she's like not in that great of a mood in that moment, it's a better mood. So it does bring her happy. But because she doesn't think about it, or that she's doing it for that specific reason, then it's easy to not notice that that's what that's coming from. Cool. Yeah. I talk a lot, my bad. No, that was perfect. Yeah. Anyway, watch out for me. I'm trying to be a business mogul out here. I want to retire, and when my goal is to retire by the time I'm like 30, so that I can spend full time raising my kids or whatever. Yeah, because I wouldn't mind. I feel like if I have enough patience to deal with this particular person I want to be dealing with, because when we argue, bro, like I like to argue, but not with them. Oh my gosh, she does like to argue, and the fact that she keeps trying to prompt me into arguing, but she keeps wording. See, I see it as debating. That's the same thing. Say no, it's not. Listen, I know. Okay, connotation wise, no, it's not. But I enjoy debating and arguing, so for me, they're the same thing. But I like constantly pulling Kyra into debates. I don't mind debating. I know. And then I do want to backtrack just a little bit, because I did find it, so I have to mention it. Yeah. Wait. Long pause so I know where to find this in there, because I'll just move it. Okay. Go ahead. Wait, I gotta find it again. I just had it. Okay. Give me a second. Okay. So it says that there are 10 key takeaway points for being a Libra North Node. The 7th point says, don't be so independent and disconnected from others. Follow the path of union. There's no way you can go wrong. Yes, there is. Because if you focus so hard on not being independent, then you can become codependent, and that's a problem. No.
union, when usually at least it's divine union. So you're becoming your best self in order to.
So unionize with myself?
No, maybe, to be honest with you, if you're thinking about it from like a divine masculine, divine feminine perspective,
that makes
you have
sense.
to unify those parts of yourself. But if you're thinking about, because you know a lot of people tend to like, oh, I want to do X, Y, and Z when I'm married or blah blah blah, and so you gotta remember that a lot of these informational things are gonna cater to that point of view. So if you're looking for union, like the capital U. Or, yeah, you. I thought that was wrong. Yeah, anyway, capital U union, then, you know, you want to make sure that you're focusing on being your best. So they'll say that throughout, if you guys have ever heard of the twin flame journey, it's all the same kind of shit.
Okay.
Yeah, soulmates and shit like that.
Sense.
You have to be the perfect version of you so that you can attract someone who's their perfect version of them. All that kind of good stuff. And though that's a good thing in reality, like, yes, it is teaching a good lesson or whatever, because by the time you get to that point, you're not thinking about any of that shit anymore anyway. Yeah.
I guess maybe I just didn't like the way that it was worded, because I kind of strive for being independent, and that's just with the way that I was raised. So for someone to say, don't focus so much on being independent, what are you talking about?
I think that, okay.
So
I'm also gonna kind of point out, Kyra and I had a whole tit for tat about buying each other stuff when she first moved in.
We still go through it.
Not quite as often. Not quite. It's
well,
probably
that's because
gonna be like
we
once or twice.
secretly send the money back, both of us.
It's not a secret. Yeah, I feel like, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway. Sometime, did you give me those sour straws by then?
Yeah,
I knew that. I just forgot to say thank you. So thank you. Wait.
It's on record. No,
I was gonna say, arigato gozaimasu.
Oh, how do you say that? You're welcome.
Do itashimashite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would attempt to say that, but I know that I'm gonna mess it up.
Try it.
Doi tosimaste?
Do it slower. Do ita ta.
Okay, doi ta shimaste.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Shimaste. Okay, I like that.
Whoop, whoop. We're learning Japanese. Shameless plug. Duolingo.
Big.
Yeah. No, I'll give them a plug. They're not gonna sponsor us. I know that. No.
I guess.
Yeah, shameless plug Duolingo for the brief of Japanese just then.
All right. So the 16 personality thing.
Yeah, I'm almost through taking mine because I didn't want to take too much time out because we already had a lot of long pauses going on today. But I'm almost done. More Jeopardy music, and we'll be right back. There you go. Alright, I finished, and Kyra also had time to take hers. And surprise, surprise, we got exactly the same shit.
Well, a little bit of difference.
Oh no, like the percentages and the mix to get there is different.
Well, this one it says INFP-T for me, and yours is
-A.
But still, it's
I'm
mediator.
A super introvert.
It's a still mediator for both of us. Is just a different type of mediator for each of us, if that makes sense.
Yeah, she got some shit that says diplomat. Okay, hold on. I gotta scroll. Okay, I don't have the exact screen that she has pulled up.
Just go to save those.
Yeah. Hold on. I wanted to read out the
It's still right here.
Listen. Oops. It says this email address is already taken.
Oh shit.
No, it's okay. I told you I've done this before. And it doesn't change. I always get the -A. Now that she said that, I didn't pay attention to hers, but I definitely always get the exact same shit.
Oh, and it actually has a definition of what's the difference. Oh, because yours is assertive, mine is turbulent.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it says, for both of us, right? On the outside, mediators may seem quiet or even shy, but they often have vibrant, passionate inner lives.
Because they make up such a small portion of the population, people with this personality type may sometimes feel misunderstood or out of step with the world.
Fortunately, their caring nature can help them create and sustain deep relationships with their loved ones.
We're very earthy.
Yes.
Mediators value authenticity, empathy, and harmony.
These personalities tend to act with the best of intentions, and they are rightly proud of this trait.
That said, they may feel isolated or discouraged when other people don't share their idealism. I actually resonate with that.
I was going to say, I think that's fair. I actually want to go through, we don't have a whole lot of time left. We did take a few brief pauses and shit, but we're trying to cut down the runtime, keep it decent. We don't want to get, like, towards an hour 30. I feel like that's milking it.
Yeah, just a little bit.
All right, but yeah, so go ahead. What is your breakdown percentage-wise?
So my breakdown percentage is surprisingly 94% introverted, only 6% extroverted. I am not surprised at all.
Me either. Yeah.
You want to go?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Mine is 89% introverted, 11% extroverted. So I'm slightly more extroverted.
Well, that makes sense because you're trying to get me into lots of bars.
True, and I don't even really want to be there. I just want to do the thing.
Yeah. And then I'm going to go home. Okay, I'm 64% intuitive, 36% observant.
Okay, interesting. I am 76% intuitive and 24% observant.
28% thinking, 72% feeling.
I have exactly the same thing.
Interesting.
Cool.
Okay, and then I am 47% judging. Oh, that's kind of sucks. And then 53% prospecting.
Okay, we're close on that one. I have 44% judging and 56% prospecting.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is where we completely flip-flop. Yeah.
I'm 24% assertive, 76% turbulent.
I want to know what turbulent means, but
I searched it up.
No, we'll get there.
Oh.
Yeah, I was trying to, we don't want a full segue before I finish.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm being selfish. But no, so I am 51% assertive and 49% turbulent. So I was almost close to a 50-50 right there.
Nice.
So what does turbulent mean? Because I have no fucking clue what they
I
use.
didn't either.
Yeah.
So, because turbulent as a word has a completely different definition, because at first I was searching up and I didn't like it.
What is the
for personality?
Yeah,
there's a different one for a turbulent personality, and so that means that individuals who are turbulent are success-driven, perfectionists, and eager to improve. They are always trying to counterbalance their self-doubts by achieving more. Just as they push themselves to become better, they're as likely to push their projects or efforts in the same direction.
Okay. That's not so bad.
No, it's not. No. I can see where that would make sense. I kind of fell off a little bit, but that makes sense.
Yeah, I have a very soft understanding of what assertive as a personality trait is, but I would say that I'm assertive, especially, we've talked about that kind of several times at this point, where if I feel like I need to do or say something, I'm probably going to do it.
Okay, here's another thing. It says that turbulent personality types are typically not comfortable with their current lives. They often use this dissatisfaction to become better people, which makes sense. And I'm trying to look up the assertive specifically. Okay, assertive mediators are more likely to see a mistake as a one-off accident or simply carelessness, as the occasional kind of thing everyone does. But they are unlikely to let it take up too much of their real estate in their mind. These personalities typically do the same with their flaws. They usually prefer to use their time thinking of positive possibilities. And that actually does explain a lot, because while I'll harp on a lot of stuff and be like, oh my God, did I do that wrong? Did I say that wrong? Maybe I should have said this differently. I think I messed up. What do you think? And I do that with Kaylyn all the time, and she's like, it happened once. It's fine. You're overthinking it. It's good. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't tend to let a lot of shit rub at me, you know what I mean? Like, stuff does end up sticking, but that's how I know exactly what I need to deal with, because it's usually very specific stuff. I'm not like, oh man, I said something weird to somebody on Tuesday, like, it's Thursday or Friday and I'm still thinking about it. I tend to not do that kind of shit.
I do that all the time.
Yeah. But that's what I'm here for. And in the most introverted way possible.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, man. Oh, but see, I feel like, I don't know why my definition of assertive is kind of aggressive, because I remember, I was going to say one time when I was at band camp, I was talking shit about somebody, and I didn't know they were behind me, and then they were like, what did you say? And I turned around and said it again.
Okay, see, I'll be fair with that, and I guess that's where that 24% assertiveness comes in with me. If I like you and it may have came out wrong, I'll try to sugarcoat it maybe, but I'm still gonna say what I said. Mm-hmm. If I don't like you, I'm be like, oh, you didn't hear me? Let me say it again. So that's where that'll come in. But for the most part, yeah, I overthink. Okay, funny story. So there was this. When I worked for Downtown, we had this company meeting, and everybody else was, having their black moment, being, whatever. And I was trying to figure out where to set my empty can, because we had to stand in line to go watch a video or something like that. And it was like, just set it on the floor. And so when I was like, I was like, no, I can't do that. And I was like, you know what, fuck it, let me just put it here, because I don't know. Somebody actually saw me, was like, the bathroom is right there, you didn't have to do that, why are you acting like that in this type of place? And it just made me feel so bad. And I'm like, oh, maybe I really shouldn't have done that. And the person who considered herself to be my friend kind of made it worse. And although she was egging me on to do it at first, she kind of flipped the switch when everybody else saw it. And she was like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have done that. And when I tell you that I overthought it so much, like 15 minutes, 20 minutes later, I'm still like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. That was so wrong. I was just a joke. Like, and honestly, it was a joke. I wasn't going to put it on, like, I'll put it just right here. But I was going to pick it back up. But, and see, there's that part coming in again. But I had to explain to everybody, it was just a joke. I don't know what would happen, blah, blah, blah. And even days after that, I was still thinking about it. I didn't tell anybody because, they would have thought I was crazy, because I was still talking about it. But the fact that I had a so-called friend who kind of flipped on me on that thing, and then kind of didn't have my back at that point, to reassert that it was just a joke, or that it was okay, then I just like overthought and was like, oh my God, I didn't mean to embarrass black people in this situation, because there was other white people that was there, so that kind of reinforced the stereotype.
I'm not laughing at what you said. I'm laughing because in my head the whole time I'm like, I would have been like, fuck it, it's there now. And yeah, I know, I feel so bad, because I was gonna say, we're just such complete opposites sometimes. I feel like that's a very good example of, like, I never considered being turbulent a mentality kind of thing, you know what I mean? Because it's not quite personality.
Yeah.
And I never would have considered being assertive the same way. Like, I would never have thought the way that I think about things is so and so. You know what I mean? Yeah, that seems like a weird thing to qualify my thoughts with. Weird.
Cool.
Yeah. And then there's one more example I was gonna bring up. And I lost it as soon as I said that. It was, last year, you and I were doing some shit. It was right when you first got with us, and I don't remember at this point. And I literally just lost it. Oh well, it'll come back when I don't need it. But
we can talk about it then. Because it'd be interesting just to dissect it just for a little bit.
Yeah. Man, I want to go back. I'm not going to do that. Okay. But, so moving forward, forgetting I said anything. Yeah, I'm glad we looked at the personality test. I didn't notice that it had, the first time I did it, that it had, like, explore your type shits. There's a subsection menu, like, introduction, strengths and weaknesses, relationships, friendships, parents, career, workplace habits, conclusion, and then premium. I'm not going to pay for premium this time. Unless you pay us. No. Right, I'm not going to do that. Oh, we should set up a Patreon.
Well, you can do that.
Yeah.
We have mutually agreed that I am terrible with technology.
Kind of. She's just a little impatient.
I will neither confirm nor deny that statement. But yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, so she's just a little impatient, and that's okay, because I tend to be more impatient about things that make me angry. When I don't care, I truly, genuinely don't care.
Okay, but I'm impatient with technology. I can be more patient with people. I can, except for the
Not on a no. Listen, on a general level, I'm gonna say no. You can't, because you forget how often you can be complaining about your job, and not just the work, but
that's the thing.
I'm not.
Okay.
Listen, it's a general impatience. Yeah, because so Kyra and I don't do it nearly as often as she does. She's got a full-time job. I work at this one place one day a week, answering the phone, but I tend to notice that based off the way we talk about how things have to go, she is more willing to get irritated on the phone, and I think that's funny. Because, for me, I'm just gonna, if somebody starts cussing me out, now mind you, I'm working the fucking front desk. I'm not supposed to be a call center, you know what I mean? So I have to be nice. But when people call and cuss me out and shit like that, I just pause. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have to be nice, you know what I mean? But because she's at a call center, more of her job is centered around, doing the actual work and not the talking to people. So she can just do the work. She doesn't have to be nice. But because of that, she's not going to pretend. I'm just going to say it like that.
Yeah, no, I don't. Mm-hmm. That's very hard for me. I'm a very honest person, even over the phone, because you can hear it when my voice actually does change. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to maintain nice. Really?
Yeah, because listen, and then we also have a joke that she can't yell unless she's angry, but that's a whole different thing. But, I don't, and it's not a bad thing. I just think that
Well, I didn't think that it was a bad thing. I just thought that I was more patient. Guess I'm not.
I don't think so.
I'm patient with kids.
I have to see that with my own. No, I believe you.
But I think, the reason that I'm harping on that is because my mom told me that I wasn't patient. She told me that I would never be able to have kids because of that.
I'm dead.
But then I have other people that see me with kids, and they were like, "Oh, you will be a great parent."
Yeah, I feel like that just knowing you. I also feel like your mom's kind of a hypocrite.
That's fair.
Yeah, but that's okay. So is mine. She's hella impatient. Hella. We have several jokes about it.
Yeah, yeah, she is. Mm-hmm. We love you.
Yep, love you, moms. Both of you.
Yes, I love you too.
Neither of you who listened.
Yes, my mom will not listen to this. Not the whole thing.
Yeah, I think, did you want to read one of these subsections? Because we're getting kind of off, hella off.
Not necessarily, unless you want to go to career paths, if that will tie into what we were talking about. But
I hope so, yeah. Let's check out career paths.
Okay, so I think this one is a little bit interesting. So just in general, I think we can save this for another episode to go more in depth on our personality traits, and that can actually be its own episode or a series. But it says that at times idealistic mediators, which is what we are, might struggle to find a profession that meets their practical needs and fulfills their dreams, which makes a lot of sense.
We've talked a lot about that today.
Yeah, and even with me wanting or knowing that I want to be an editor, I've dabbled in obviously my full-time job, but then also modeling and stuff like that. Realizing that I want to write, which still kind of makes me nervous. A lot of that stuff, and practical because I feel like I need to have a full-time job to sustain and stuff like that, but then also trying to make sure that the things that I want to do will sustain my life. So there's that. They may drift in frustration. I do that often, waiting for the perfect job to present itself and eventually feeling stuck or worried that they're not living up to their potential. We've actually talked about that a lot.
Quite a bit. I think even on the podcast.
Did we?
I think so.
Possibly. Well, I can say in just private talk, we talk about that a lot, where it was feeling, and I've specifically said feeling stuck. Like, I don't feel like I'm living the way that I should, or the way that I feel like I should, or up to my potential. And that is beyond frustrating, because I'm like, this is not enough, and I feel like that all the time. It's not enough. So unfortunately, it says, alas, there's no such thing as a perfect job. The question of whether to settle for a less than ideal position can weigh heavily on people with this personality type. Fortunately, mediators stand out for their creativity, independence, and sincere desire to connect with and help others. These traits can help them shine and find fulfillment in nearly any line of work. So there's light at the end of the tunnel is just very narrow.
I was going a completely different route with that. I was like, this is kind of bridging the gap between our north nodes, kind of like being a mediator versus being
an organizer.
I was gonna say servicer, something like that. That's not the right word, but
I get what you're saying.
Abnegation.
I think what's interesting is that although our north nodes are in completely different signs, the description of them are very similar in certain aspects of them.
Well, yeah, a lot of the shit is overgeneralized. You gotta take it with a grain of salt.
That's fair.
Yeah. But still, it's fun to go through and see what's similar, because I think that's what like if you're working on something with someone else, it's way easier than doing it by yourself. Which is part of why we're making the podcast. And we're going through shit. I hope somebody out there is like, oh, let me check out my north node, or let me check out my fucking moon or rising sign. You know what I mean? I think that'd be cool. Speaking of which, plug the Discord. Shameless plug. Please, if you're listening to this and you did any of those things, just drop it in the Discord.
Please. That would be fun.
Can I help you? Come on. Yeah. Oh, she's never done this. My cat just jumped into my lap, fellas.
Nice. She loves her. She just rarely likes to show it. She's introverted as well.
Yeah. She's my precious baby. We get along because we're so similar.
All right. So, I think that is the conclusion, unless you had anything else to say.
I kind of just wanted to wrap it up with some North Node shit, just because we really didn't talk about that for the last chunk of the video. I feel like it's all mostly my fault. We got way off topic.
But I mean, it's still wrapped around back into it because the personalities kind of played into, and that's what the North Node is supposed to do. Basically defining what your soul needs and wants. And that's part of your personality, or it comes out in there.
Yeah, like you were saying, you integrate all the different parts into what your personality could be at its highest potential. Yeah, nice. And you came up with that. Kyra did way more research for this than I did. I'm very impressed.
Well, okay, the reason that happened is because there was a lot of pressure in the beginning when she was telling me about it, and because I didn't know anything. And so then I was like, well, I have to make sure I know what I'm talking about. And I guess it worked out.
Yeah, I'm really glad you did. I say that a lot, but you also compliment me a lot, so I gotta make sure I return the favor.
Do I?
Yeah. I don't think you consider compliments, maybe. Like, you know how when you just say shit because you're like, oh yeah, X, Y, and Z, but then the other person's like, oh, thank you. Have you ever had that happen?
No.
Okay. Well, I feel like that. Well, also because I'm a lion and you're kind of stroking my pride. So,
okay.
Thanks for petting me.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So I think that's gonna wrap up today's episode, or this week's. I'm on Instagram and Twitter. Kaylyn was here _.
And I'm on Instagram, Kyra_is_here. Twitter pending.
Twitter pending. I like that. Yeah. So
with that being said, Kyra's here.
Kaylyn was here.
And thanks for listening.
Bye.
Oh,
no, that's fine. Okay, wait. I kind of liked it like that.
I liked it like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We'll end it off.